Hello, thank you for being here. Today I'm talking all about how I stay healthy, how I have been able to maintain my weight and truly conquer health and dieting. Yes, I do not diet at all. So, by the way, I'm Dr. Kimberly LaHue, and I just want to break down how I eat, how I've been able to keep my gut, my digestive system healthy, and have high energy, keep my weight ideal, keep my body strong, all without dieting, chasing weight loss, or obsessing. This is exactly what I teach my patients because when you eat the right way, your body does what God designed it to do, which is heal and renew itself and thrive. So people say your gut is the foundation, but I say it is your whole digestive tract. It is the gateway to your health. And there is a big difference, wink, wink, by design. There's a very big difference and a different conversation. Because I find it clever that they're merely focusing on the gut, one organ, but you're missing the whole system, and that is deeply connected to all the other systems. Well, they acknowledge that it's the brain and the gut, but it really is the gut and the endocrine, the gut and the immune system, the gut and the circulatory, the gut and the limbic system, which is probably key and most important. But truly, it is all of your body. And you're like, well, what's the big deal? There is a big deal. The digestive tract is responsible for what gets delivered to all the cells, all the nutrients. So if your digestive system is off, then every other system will be off. And I kind of explain it like this. This is a kind of a weird analogy, but this is how I've explained it. Think of as your cells as a big army. And it is this army of men. They get up, they work out, they train, and they eat right. They come to the mess hall, they get their 3 meals, and that is how they seem to stay healthy, and they're working hard. But let's say they come in and they have mac and cheese, and then they have lasagna, and then they have hamburgers, and they have fries. What do you think is going to happen to their bodies? Their chemistry is going to be off, right? There is a burden of too much fat, too much protein, too much combination of sticky acid foods. It's an acid overload. And so the body begins robbing the bones of calcium. More mucus is filled, the lymphatic system backs up, and your body starts to go rob your bones of calcium to put the fires out of inflammation. So your cells get weakened. They get sick and tired and non-performing because the acids that the food that the army is eating is corrosive, hardening, dehydrating. And so that is every cell in your body when you're eating foods, the wrong foods, polluted foods, acidic foods. And so your cells are truly starving for proper nutrition. And people think when they're having energy drinks and protein bars and eggs and avocado toast and these things that they appear to be nutrition, but it is far from the truth. So what you're eating, how you're preparing it, what combinations, how frequently you're eating them, all of it matters to the digestive tract. And every cell has requirements of vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, oxygen, hydrogen. You have to get those or your cells become depleted. So that is key. And I learned that early on after studying holistic healers. It's the quality of the foods you're eating is the quality of every cell in your body. Not to mention its electrical state, and then the science doesn't really back up how our emotional health is imperative to having healthy cells. It's that energy of the heart. It impacts every single cellular function. And I know that may take time for proof to come out, but that really is the truth because it's 24/7, and we know that our emotional state has an impact on the physicality of our body. So it's the diets, the lifestyle, it's your heart and your emotional health. And so to bring that all back around, well, what do you eat? That's what this is about. Well, I had to give you the big picture of health because that is also why I'm healthy. It's not just the foods. Let's get to the foods though, because that's why you're here. But just so you know the big picture, I eat live foods from the Creator, right, from the earth. Energetic foods that help your body heal itself. because that is what the body is designed to do. And the reason I eat those foods is because they digest easy. Your body recognizes the structure. It can break it down. It can deliver it to the cells, and your cells recognize it. So there's not really a burden to your body. So they energize you because they have live enzymes. And I like to explain this like the banana. The banana sitting on the countertop. Well, what happens to the banana over 2, 3, 4, 5 days? It starts to develop brown spots. Why is that? That is enzyme action. So what happens is there is a chemical reaction called polyphenol oxidase, PPO. It is released when the plant starts to break down and the starches turn to sugars. It also happens when you cut into the banana. Well, why would that happen? You're doing damage to the banana when you cut into it, and therefore you're bringing in oxygen to that area, and it starts this rapid process of breakdown. If you put a cut banana next to other fruit, other live foods, that live food begins to react to the cut banana. That is, to me, right in front of you, what a live food, what it's doing. It's actually changing. You're not going to find that with meat. If you cut into meat, you'll start to see it, and you let it sit on the countertop, you'll see maybe maggots or nasty byproducts of decay. If you cut into a piece of bread, what's going to happen? Nothing. It's dead. It's dead food. Nothing. You cut the bread, and it's just eventually going to have mold. So you see from just the nature of how fruit responds, it is a living food that gets transferred to you. And that is another reason why I love live foods. The other reason is because it cleans the gut, helps that microbiome, it reduces inflammation, it feeds every cell, like I mentioned, so nothing is wasted. It supports detoxification, especially the liver, the kidneys, the lymphatic system. It helps to curb your cravings because it's satisfying every cell at the cellular level. It is a perfect fuel source. It also uplifts your mood, supporting that gut-brain connection we already talked about. And it gives you freedom, so you're not on a diet. I call it's near perfect eating. And that is why I can that is why I can eat without feeling like I'm on a diet. I'm not restricting myself. It's this gray area that I'm eating in. So it's really a beautifully balanced relationship between strict and carefree. It's like I'm right in the middle, having this not so perfect, but perfect to me because I'm healthy way of eating. It's really about, if I were to call it a different name, eating intentionally. And here's another way to illustrate this. Let's say someone saw me in a restaurant and I had a plate of nachos in front of me and also had a salad. Someone might say, "What a hypocrite, she's eating nachos. She says she eats healthy." Well, here is what they don't know in my intentional eating example. In the beginning of the day, I had fruit. Maybe I had also a fruit smoothie later. Then I have a large salad, live foods, and I order nachos, and I'm splitting it with someone. And I'm eating the chips without the cheese. I'm dipping it into live avocados, guacamole. I'm dipping it also in a bowl of pico de gallo, fresh tomatoes and onions and cilantro. So what they don't see is the burden of a cooked or fried corn, water, oil, salt, chip with all of these live foods. So the burden of the nacho is not burdening my body because of all the enzymes I eat with the meal. It's not burdening me because of all the fresh fruit I ate in the beginning. It's not going to burden me for what I do the rest of the day. I'm eating intentionally. And so that is how I have my cake and eat it too. The way I eat supports health. It's just I've learned how to be intentional about how I choose my foods, when I eat, and how I eat. So I don't chase perfect eating anymore. I did that at 14 years old. I was committed to health, or I wasn't committed to health. I was committed to, being lean and skinny, and I didn't care about health. But at that time, when I was learning from holistic healers about eating, and I was journaling everything I ate and how my body responded, that is how I started to correlate what made me tired, what foods didn't combine well. And then on to chiropractic school, I learned physiology, anatomy, biochemistry of what truly was happening in the physical world of eating inside the body. And so it was a big education, and that is how I learned how to eat balanced, have freedom, and have excellent health. I learned to listen to my body. And it's one of the biggest lessons that I teach my clients is how to listen to your body. That is a part of your eating discovery of what is good for your body. You see, our body's always getting signs and signals to you. So when you're eating, you're watching or looking, paying attention to your bowels, your skin, your energy, your breath, your mood, your urine, your body odor, your tongue, your eyes. This is all feedback or symptoms, if you will, that show up, and it's a way to get a free test result every single day about your body. So it's not random. These are messages that are important for you, and if you recognize these signs and signals that your body's giving, you don't panic. You just course correct. So you don't fear symptoms, you start to understand them. And another example would be, say you got a stuffy nose, extra mucus coming out the nose, your nose is running. Is that air quality? Is it because the air condition's on? Which mine is right now. So I've been talking all day. So is it the air conditioning? Maybe. But more than likely, it's your body detoxing, which isn't something to fear. So when you know these signs that your body's cleansing, you're not sick. You are empowered now because you're saying, oh, my body's cleansing. But let's just say your energy starts to drop and you start to feel this pressure in your sinuses. Well, then you're thinking, okay, my system is fighting off something. So you want to support your immune system. So what do? You start to hydrate. You eat light, living foods, the ones God put on this earth to help our bodies cleanse. Or you could fast if you wanted to. But you're starting to say, okay, I want real electrolytes. I need to rest. I need real sunshine. I need to breathe fresh air. And if you're a believer like me, you turn on worship music and you start to raise your heart of joy and love, and you can add that in if you want. But nonetheless, what your body's doing is cleansing. So we support the body. We don't suppress the mucus. We partner with the body's natural ability to heal. So this all comes around to, how do I eat in real life? Well, I'm discovering new ways to prepare food. I'm finding out what I like and different ways to prepare it, but I'm always eating for pleasure. And you think, pleasure? Well, I love big salads, and when you start to eat healthy, your body begins to crave these various types of foods, live living foods. I eat big salads with different types of fresh vegetable toppings, whether it's zucchini, radishes, peppers, onions, green onions, fresh tomatoes. Maybe I'll put a little goat cheese on it. Oh my God, like dairy, horrible. Well, it kind of could be, but my body can handle it. But if I got stuffy or I got low energy or I got constipated, I wouldn't do that anymore. I wouldn't eat goat cheese with it for that time being, for that season, or for that, when I say season, for really a few days until I figured out what was going on. I may have a big salad with green beans or sweet potatoes or cauliflower mock potato salad, coleslaw, different versions of coleslaw. So it's a way to not eat so perfect, but it keeps me feeling incredibly healthy, and I feel good. I have energy, and I watch for those signs and signals. So the other question I get is, well, what happens when you go out? Well, I like to choose restaurants that are farm to table, and I do that to stay in season, to get fresh food that hasn't traveled all across the country, but I was recently picked, and that's local. And I know the farms that I buy from. I know what they do, so I just am aware of what I'm putting in my body. But if I sit down to a restaurant that I've never been to, I'll scan the menu and I'll start to plan out my meal. I look for greens, for veggies, for fresh options, and I just start, ordering to where I'm maybe leaving off some things or dressings on the side, or asking if they can steam something. So it's really not about being rigid. It's about being intentional and knowing how to eat for your body. The body is very forgiving and it can handle some of those not perfect foods, but you have to get healthy first, and that's key. And so that's why I teach to aim for that 80-20 rule once you get healthy. You're eating fresh foods, live foods, organic, local farmers. You've restored your body, and your body can start to handle some of those not so healthy foods, and you're not overdoing it, but you're intentionally placing them throughout your diet and your day. So, people say, what do you eat, Kimberly? I want to know what you ate for the day. But the best question to ask me and how I can help you is, how can I eat what I want and be satisfied and still be healthy? So after decades, this is why I carefully created Healthy and Victorious, a program that gets you healthy, but I help you understand your body along the way, and you get healthier and healthier and healthier while learning more about your body. So we clean it up and we learn how to rebuild the cells and rejuvenate. And this is what your body's doing naturally, and you're supporting the body in that process. Natural laws. So you don't get hung up in perfection, but body discovery, and you're learning about food and what burdens your body and how to support your body as it begins to rejuvenate. So the other part of that is I help you to stop using food as a go-to when you're happy or sad or lonely or stressed. So there's a lot of emotional awareness and emotional mastery that's also a part of learning how to eat and to be healthy, because you can really eat and be free from any type of food addictions or food obsessions. Health is sustainable, and your body becomes this vessel of energy and strength and peace, and you can really start to enjoy food and not be burdened by it and be healthy at the same time. So I would like to know, let me know below, because I truly want to know so I can help you. Pick a food that you think you have to give up. And I'm going to answer you and tell you how maybe you can prepare it, something to eat that's very close to that type of food, how you can eat that particular food healthy so you can enjoy anything that you love in your diet that you think you have to give up to be healthy. I want to help you get as healthy as you can be. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you found value in it. I know it's kind of darting around in different directions, but it's like a big picture. It's not one thing. It's a way of living. So I just want to thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe. Don't miss the next video. The next video I'm going to be talking about how to lower your cholesterol naturally. Blood pressure coming down naturally so you can get back to health. All right, thanks for joining me. See you on the next video.